One player made headlines for stepping on rivals during games, while another reveled in breaking a star quarterback's nose. And let's not forget the player who sent stomach medicine to his opponents before the game. These are the NFL's most unforgettable trash talkers. 1. Ndamukong Suh. Ndamukong Suh isn't afraid to go low. He'll step on you, hit you late, and even aim where the sun don't shine if the situation calls for it. So perhaps a little trash talk isn't the worst thing that you could get from Suh. Ever since his days at Nebraska, Suh's been one of the game's most vocal trash talkers, both on and off the field. Watch any game he plays in, and you'll see him yapping to someone about something. His favorite people to target, both rhetorically and physically, are quarterbacks, a group Suh called pretty boys that he hates with a passion. As for rebutting enemy trash talk, Suh said that he doesn't have to, because his opponents are too scared of him. 2. Terrell Suggs. A longtime revered pass rusher for the Baltimore Ravens, has never been afraid to sack the quarterback and dig in. Everybody, including Tom Brady, found themselves recipients of Suggs' ruthless trash talk multiple times. After a loss to the Patriots, Suggs claimed that the Pats didn't want to see them again, and he hoped they were going to enjoy the Pro Bowl because they'd beat him in the playoffs. However, Brady isn't the only quarterback that Suggs despises. Steelers quarterback Ben Roethlisberger has been sacked by Terrell Suggs more than any other player in his career. Suggs even once broke Roethlisberger's nose in the middle of a game. When asked to comment, Suggs called it awesome. The future Hall of Famer claims he went to Ball So Hard University, and his play backs it up. Late into his career, Suggs continues to ball, seemingly getting more sacks and getting under more people's skin. It seems his diploma and his game age like fine wine. 3. Terrell Owens. We've seen Terrell Owens bask in the Dallas Cowboys star and danced in almost every other team's end zone. One of the most decorated receivers in history, T.O. dominated in a 49ers, Eagles, and Cowboys jersey. Owens was a sponge for controversy and flamboyant end zone celebrations, even developed a catchphrase that would soon become synonymous with his play: "Get your popcorn ready." T.O. is one of the best shows on turf, whether his team was good or not. In an infamous interview from his house, Terrell Owens shredded his own quarterback Donovan McNabb. Nobody was off limits for T.O., even the guy throwing him the ball. Owens knew two things: nobody could cover him, and that he loved me some me. His fiery passion led him to flame out with multiple teams, even though he had unprecedented success everywhere he went. Even in retirement, he's brought forth controversy on whether he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame or not. Simply put, Terrell Owens is one of the kings of trash talking and controversy. 4. Chad Johnson. When someone brings up trash talking, one of the first names that comes to mind is Chad Ochocinco Johnson. This is a man that legally changed his last name to his number, psychologically to mess with corners. Johnson's mouth overshadowed the fact that he was one of the best route runners in NFL history. The Cincinnati Bengals' all-time receiving leader regularly lined up and gave tips to his opponent. He would even call out his route before he ran it, then proceeded to beat the defender with it. The story that exemplifies Chad Johnson as a trash talker is simply referred to as the Pepto game. During the week, Johnson decided to send every member of the Browns' defensive secondary a bottle of the popular stomach reliever Pepto-Bismol. Johnson was implying that he was going to make them sick from the long day they had ahead. Trash talking is in Chad Johnson's DNA. While it's up in the air if he'll ever make the NFL Hall of Fame, he's a first-ballot trash-talking Hall of Famer for sure. 5. Steve Smith. Saying someone has little man syndrome is usually degrading, but in a league full of towering titans, 5'9" Steve Smith's chip on his shoulder fuels the trash talk that comes out of his mouth.
Ready for somebody? Here we go. Try me if you want to. If you see this face, that means I score. Think I can't play? You're gonna find out.
You should put together highlight reels of Steve Smith mic'd up. In one of the best Thursday Night Football League games to date, the Carolina Panthers defeated the New England Patriots, and it created one of the most iconic trash-talking moments of all time. Steve Smith and Aqib Talib were at the top of their games and battled throughout, including multiple post-snap scuffles. Unfortunately, we were cut short of that title bout when Talib went down with a hip injury late in the game. Never shy to kick someone when they're down, Smith was asked about Talib in a post-game interview and said, "Ask him. One of us ended the game, one didn't. Ice up, son." He once made fun of Janoris Jenkins' marital life and used time in the end zone to mock the scandal Fred Smoot was involved in. Between his post-game interviews and end zone celebrations, Steve Smith cemented himself as a trash-talking legend. 6. Philip Rivers.
Thank you. Hey, thank you. Hey, thanks, Sherman. Hey, we'll take that 15. Thank you.
This guy spent the better part of his 17 years running his mouth. He was one of the most relentless trash talkers the game has ever seen. Unfortunately, he was rarely able to really back it up, as he and those often talented Chargers teams tended to underperform or come up short when it mattered most. Usually with Rivers himself as the cause of their downfall, either with an untimely interception or a failed comeback drive late in the fourth quarter. Not to diminish what the 8-time Pro Bowler accomplished during his lengthy career. I'm just saying, maybe if he focused a little bit more on what he could control with his huddle and with his offense, perhaps the Chargers would have gotten over the hump and actually won a Super Bowl, or at least made it to one. I mean, the guy was crazy. He even jawed back and forth with opposing quarterbacks at times, one of which was a big-time chatterbox himself, Jay Cutler. 7. Richard Sherman. After putting together a great career, Richard Sherman will find his jersey immortalized forever when he officially decides to call it a career. Sherman's a 5-time Pro Bowl selection, was chosen 3 times to an All-Pro squad, and was a Super Bowl champion.
What is the purpose of trash talk?
Man, the purpose is, if you can get in the guy's head, go for it.
Accolades aside, however, few have been able to match his trash-talking skills. Although trash-talking your opponent is relatively common, things sometimes spill over to the press. During a heated playoff game against the San Francisco 49ers, Sherman was lined up against Michael Crabtree. Colin Kaepernick lofted a back-shoulder ball in his direction with just a few seconds remaining. Sherman, though, would hear none of it as he tipped the pass away from Crabtree and into the hands of one of his teammates. Shortly after making the play, Sherman extended his hand to Crabtree as a sign of respect, or maybe disrespect. Once he was disregarded, Sherman looked into the camera during the post-game interview while screaming that Crabtree was a sorry receiver. Comments such as those became the norm for Sherman, and it's precisely why he's one of the biggest trash talkers in league history. 8. Ray Lewis. During a showdown against the Cincinnati Bengals, Chad Johnson attempted to tackle Lewis. That quickly failed as Lewis knocked him to the turf, which led to immediate trash talk between the two. Johnson was one of the rare players who could hold his own with Lewis in the trash-talking department. But 9. John Randle. Randle is one of the all-time masters of trash talk. I'm sure he could hold seminars on how to do it. He certainly has been interviewed enough on what he said, how he said it, when he said it, and so on. And Randle's style of play didn't stop once he got to Seattle. For Randle, however, trash-talking wasn't about disrespect for the person in the uniform, just an attempt to upset the player himself and to disrupt an opposing player's focus on the game. Once the game ended, so did the trash talk for Randle. He was never an issue off the field and wasn't dirty on the field. Randle just liked to try to get inside the opponent's head by talking smack to him. 10. Marshawn Lynch. Beast mode trash talk by not talking. In most respects, Lynch's disrespect, whether it be to the NFL in general, the media, or other teams, was either non-verbal or in lack of words. But it was every bit as biting as someone who couldn't stop talking. For instance, who can't remember when Lynch showed up to a Super Bowl press conference and said,
"I'm just here so I won't get fined. I'm here so I won't get fined. I'm here so I won't get fined. I'm just here so I won't get fined.
I'm just here so I won't get fined." Or, "I'm just about that action, boss." It's a bit amazing that someone who said so little to the media has so many memorable quotes and websites devoted to them. Lynch was always smarter than he let on, and he was self-aware more than most of us will ever be. That said, what Lynch didn't say was more important than most people will ever speak.